Virat Kohli is on that level. He don't care about the food. Whatever you're going to give him, he's going to eat. We have a lot of information about Nitish Reddy from past. When Nitish bhai came to me, I'm not saying that he was wrong that time, but he has a misconception about the carbohydrate intake and the protein intake. Paneer in India is still a luxury. Intermittent fasting, you can do it regularly, but there is no added benefits when it comes to fat loss. Aloo has been demonized in such a way that aloo is going to make me fat.
They say our body is a temple and it is the best place we can live in. And there are many hacks to it. Health, fitness, nutrition, everything comes into play. And today, to decode it all and burst a few myths, we have with us celebrity nutritionist who is also a nutrition expert to few IPL players, big Indian superstars, rather if I can say. Suraj Thakuria with us. Hi Suraj, how are you doing today?
Hi Jishu, thank you for having me here. Perfectly fine. Really glad to be here, and I hope my expertise help you guys and all the Indians in debunking a lot of myths which has been there, for a very long time in India. Yeah, thank you so much.
So Suraj, to start with it all, I'd like to know, how did you get into this nutrition journey, health and fitness and everything? How did you get into it?
So I will start from my childhood. Maybe that is going to give you a good knowledge about it. I have played cricket for more than 10 years. So when I was 8 or 9 years old, my dad enrolled me into a club जहाँ पे सारे बच्चे कैंप के लिए आते हैं, समर कैंप के लिए आते हैं. So I started playing cricket, and obviously, just like any other child, I always dreamt of playing for India. But later, over the years, maybe when I grew up and I was somewhere around 18 or something, how can I put this? I mean, मेरे पास उतना talent नहीं था maybe, and I felt that this is the right time where I need to choose some other field जहाँ से मुझे better growth मिले in terms of I really wanted to be associated with sports in any form, right? So I thought of just switching my field, and that is how I ended up in the nutrition part. And I have played MP under 16, and that time I was playing with few big names which are representing countries right now, like Venkatesh, Iyer, Avesh was also there. But over the years, I felt that I don't have that thing, and I realized. So once I grew up, and in my early 20s, I realized that it was never the talent, it was never the hard work. I was always talent, or I already have that skill, but कुछ ना कुछ लैकिंग था. जब मैंने न्यूट्रिशन और ट्रेनिंग पे फोकस किया, तब समझ में आया कि अगर ये चीज़ मैं पहले ही इम्प्लीमेंट कर देता तो शायद आउटकम थोड़ा डिफरेंट होता, शायद मैं एक लंबा क्रिकेट और खेल पाता जैसे दूसरे प्लेयर्स खेल पाएँ. बट या आई मीन उस लर्निंग से फिर मैंने आई स्टार्टेड रीडिंग अबाउट न्यूट्रिशन मोर, एंड दैट टाइम आई जस्ट पास माई लाइक आई वॉज डूइंग माई MBA दैट टाइम, एंड आई थॉट ऑफ स्विचिंग माई फील्ड ऑल टुगेदर. मुझे MBA बिल्कुल वैसे भी समझ में नहीं आ रहा था. So I enrolled with one of the certification first. Then there is one BSc course which needs to be done for being a dietitian or something. I started doing that in Indore, and slowly and gradually I built up my knowledge in nutrition and in training. And over the period, I started training a lot of individuals first. I mean, जैसे किसी को fat loss करना है, किसी का goal muscle building है. There is some lady who is dealing with PCOS or PCOD issues and all those stuff. I started with those kind of clients. I worked with few startups, and then over the years जब मुझे लगा कि now I am really I have that knowledge and I can go on the next level, I started training few of the IPL players, and it really helped me a lot. और उनका feedback इतना अच्छा था कि I started with one player in 2021, and now I am working with more than 15 IPL players.
Okay, right. I mean, so I was reading about you a bit, and I found out that you are nutritionist to Venkatesh, Iyer, Nitish Reddy, Avesh, Ishant Sharma, everybody. You are working with all these top IPL stars. So now IPL is a very grueling schedule, right? 60 days of cricket, non-stop cricket, travel, cricket, training, everything. So when you are preparing a diet for an athlete, for an high-performing athlete, I mean, what are the key factors? Do you keep in mind that that the player, every player is different. So what are the key factors? I mean, if you were to point out 3 key factors, what will they be?
So first of all, we need to see their fitness level, number 1. their role in the team, all-rounder हैं, batsman है, bowler है, and third their current body composition. ये 3 factors बहुत important रहते हैं कोई भी diet बनाने के लिए. And we can categorize all these diet into 4 main diets. कोई भी player हो, कोई भी athlete हो, 4 diets बनती ही बनती है. Number 1 is normal diet, जो फॉर एग्जाम्पल वो प्रैक्टिस के लिए जा रहे हैं, उनका एक डेली रूटीन रहता है, उनका एक डेली गोल रहता है जो उनको अचीव करना रहता है, उसके लिए एक डाइट रहता है ताकि उनको इनफ एनर्जी मिले और वो अपना जो डेली गोल है वो एफिशिएंटली अचीव कर पाएँ. सेकेंड डाइट रहता है मैच के पहले, जो हम लोडिंग डाइट भी बोलते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल देयर इज़ अ मैच कमिंग अप ऑन डे आफ्टर टुमारो, 2 दिन बाद मैच है. मुझे ये न्यूज़ पहले से मिल गई कि मेरा जो प्लेयर है वो 2 दिन बाद एक T20 मैच खेल रहा है, ठीक है. तो मैं उसको फिर 2 दिन के लिए आई विल कीप हिम ऑन अ वेरी हाई कार्ब, मे बी लोड अप फ्यू थिंग्स, उनका वाटर इनटेक, उनका इलेक्ट्रोलाइट सब हम एकदम मैनेज करेंगे ताकि वो मैच रेडी रहें. दिस वॉज द सेकेंड डाइट. थर्ड डाइट फॉर एनी प्लेयर इज़ द मैच डाइट. मैच में जो इंटेंसिटी रहती है वो आप कभी भी मैच नहीं कर सकते नॉर्मल डे से, उसका इंटेंसिटी लेवल अलग रहता है. वहाँ पे इंजरी के चांसेस भी ज़्यादा रहते हैं और प्रेशर ऑफ परफॉर्मिंग वेल वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो उस चीज़ को मैक्सिमाइज़ करने के लिए, उनके रिजल्ट्स मैक्सिमाइज़ करने के लिए उस स्पेसिफिक डे के लिए डाइट बना जाता है जिसमें सब कुछ, कितना प्रोटीन होना चाहिए, कितना कार्बोहाइड्रेट खाना है उनको कब कितना पानी कंज्यूम करना है, इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स कंज्यूम करना है, दूसरे एनर्जी ड्रिंक्स कंज्यूम करना है, सब बताया जाता है. सो दिस इज़ द थर्ड काइंड ऑफ डाइट. फोर्थ एंड द लास्ट डाइट इज़ अ रिकवरी डाइट, जो एक टूर्नामेंट के बाद या एक फेज़ के बाद होता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आपने 4 कंटिन्यूस IPL मैचेस खेले हैं एंड यू हैव अ ब्रेक ऑफ 1 डे और अ 2 डे, ठीक है. तो हम उस टाइम रिकवरी के लिए क्या बेस्ट कर सकते हैं ताकि वो नेक्स्ट मैच के लिए एकदम फ्रेश रहे और रेडी रहे. सो ये 4 मेन डाइट कोई भी एथलीट कोई भी स्पोर्ट्स में इम्प्लीमेंट होता ही है. फिर इसमें बाइफिकेशन होता है कि उस प्लेयर का नीड क्या है, राइट. अगर वो ऑलराउंडर है तो ऑब्वियसली उसका इंटेंसिटी एक बैट्समैन और एक बॉलर से ज़्यादा ही होना है, उसको 2 चीज़ में परफॉर्म करना है, ठीक है. तो उसका कार्बोहाइड्रेट इंटेक हमको उस लेवल पे रखना पड़ेगा और ये भी ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा कि कौन कौन से फूड उसको सूट कर रहे हैं, उस स्पेसिफिक प्लेयर को सूट कर रहे हैं और कौन कौन से फूड हैं जिससे वो एलर्जिक है या उसको थोड़ा सा डिस्कम्फर्ट फील होता है. सो कीपिंग ऑल दीज थिंग्स इन माइंड, स्मॉल थिंग्स अबाउट माइक्रो न्यूट्रिएंट्स एंड प्रोटीन, ऑल द स्टफ, वी कम अप विद अ डाइट. सबसे पहले उनसे फीडबैक लिया जाता है प्लेयर से कि दिस इज़ अ डाइट विच वी आर प्लानिंग टू गिव यू, how you feel about it, and then according to the feedback we keep on changing things.
So now you have many clients, these superstars who play in IPL. Some of them might be purely a batsman, some of them might be purely a bowler, some of them might be an all-rounder. I mean, there are different roles in different kind of a team. They are expected to deliver different kind of performances, right? So how do you differentiate a bowler's diet from a batsman's diet or an all-rounder's diet? I mean, what's the hack to it?
See, first of all we need to see players' body composition and weight. So for example, I will take one example of Nitish Reddy. I mean, because we have just prepared his diet for the few matches which he has played for India. So we knew that he is going to bowl few overs and his role is to be a explosive batsman, right? We knew that he is going to play under very hot condition. Okay, so hydration is going to be a key factor for him. So first of all, we guided him कि okay भैया, we need to have at least 4 to 5 liters of normal water that you need to consume throughout the day. First, we are going to take the fluid section in part, right? Apart from the water, then we have guided him with isotonic drinks that he is going to take between his maybe bowling sessions or maybe between the batting, so that all the electrolytes, all the salts which are flushing out of body because of the sweat gets replenished in the same volume, okay, and the energy is maintained throughout the match, okay. Then according to the weight, because we have a lot of information about Nitish Reddy from past, right, because I've been working with him, so I know him inside out in terms of how his body reacts. So according to his weight, we take a number in terms of carbohydrates. So by a lot of studies shows that a athlete can load up to 8 grams per kg carbohydrate before the matches, okay. It depends from person to person, athlete to athlete, but yeah, specifically roughly around 8 grams per kg of body weight we keep on loading. So for example, if an athlete is around 80 kgs, then 640-650 grams of carbs we usually give him before the match, okay. In case of Nitish Reddy, I cannot tell you the exact numbers, but yeah, that was somewhere around that, okay. Once we set the carbohydrate, Then we come to the protein part. If he is a all-rounder, definitely the requirement of protein is going to be way much. It's going to be more than a batsman or a bowler, and because the intensity on which he is going to perform, the chances of injuries are going to be on the higher side. So keeping that in mind, we select a specific protein intake which comes from different protein sources. It can be dairy, it can be non-veg like chicken, or maybe whatever, red meat and all those stuff, and accordingly we set a protein intake. Once the carbohydrate and protein is done, then we come to the fats part. Okay, according to the overall calories which we are setting. So for example, I think Nitish is going to perform good at 4000 calories. This is what I have analyzed over the years. Okay, so if he is having 4000 calories, now I have set his protein intake, his carb intakes. Now this is the time to set the fat intake. The remaining calories, I have removed the protein calories, I have removed the carb calories. The remaining calories comes from the fat source, and we make sure that it is coming from better or good fat source, which we can say that in an unsaturated way, maybe avocados, maybe peanuts, or maybe making food in olive oil and all those stuff. So this is how we frame a diet for any athlete.
So you spoke a lot about Nitish Reddy. He recently made his India debut. You have been working with him before that, right? He had a phenomenal IPL this year, and he has continued to deliver in the India Blues as well this year. So, how do you see his journey, or what changes has he brought in his diet or in his fitness routine that he has been able to transform himself in such a huge manner?
So, I specifically remember when Nitish bhai came to me. I'm not saying that he was wrong that time, but he has a misconception about the carbohydrate intake and the protein intake. He was focusing more on the protein side. Okay, he was not focusing on the carb side. He was like, I am an athlete and I need more and more of protein to recover. That is a good thing, but protein is really important. But when you are an athlete, you need to focus on the carbohydrate. If you are not loading yourself with good amount of carbs, you won't be able to perform at the highest energy in the field. Okay. That is what we changed in his diet. We clearly had a discussion about how we are going to frame it up. So first thing, we were like, okay, Nitish bhai, we are going to have protein. This is going to be the protein amount, but apart from this, we are going to focus more on the carb side. Okay, we got into his supplementations. We checked whatever supplementation he was taking earlier, and we completely changed it. Okay, because there were few supplements which was like of no use. Okay, he was taking some multivitamins and all those stuff. It was of no use for him. So we completely changed it. We introduced creatine in his diet, which is, I think, is a very beautiful supplement for any athlete who really wants to perform on the highest level. So we introduced few more supplements like magnesium in his diet, magnesium glycemate in his diet, and then whey protein, and we were having a lot of isotonic drinks, which I have told you earlier also. So all these things were missing in his diet. So we just introduced that, and he was performing really well before I came into the scene, right? But once we changed altogether thing, he was feeling more energetic, and he had that confidence, right? Okay, now I'm match ready. I can do anything on the field, and the fear of getting injured got very less. So it was a very big win for us. I mean, any player going out there and performing always have back of the mind, always have the fear of getting injured. Okay, and if a person gets injured, an athlete gets injured, 6 months, year, 1 year, 2 year, you don't know what amount of time they're going to lose, right? So with him, once he got that confidence, okay, now I am ready for everything. That was the winning situation for us. Yeah.
So you're working with someone like a Nitish Reddy, who is a youngster just starting off, he's fresh out of the blocks. You're also working with someone like an Ishant Sharma, who has represented India in so many matches, is a senior pro, is a 30 plus, he's in his 30s, right, late 30s if I can specify. So how challenging does it get for you, and what are the main differences when you're working with a youngster and when you're working with somebody who is already in his late 30s or nearing his 40s? I mean what's the dynamic that works over here?
So first of all, I really want to thank Mr. Ayush Mendiratan, who works with Stephen Jones Academy in India. Stephen Jones is bowling coach for Rajasthan Royals. He was a bowling coach for Rajasthan Royals, and these guys are expertise in increasing the pace of any bowler. So really thankful to him. He got me in touch with Ishant bhai, and Ishant bhai told me each and everything about his past journey. with different nutritionists and what went wrong with those people, so that it was really a heads up for me so that I don't make the same mistakes. And yeah, I mean, working with someone who is above 30 or who is very experienced, I mean, I really think that it's very easy when compared to a person who is in his early 20s or something, because these players already have a lot of knowledge about nutrition. They have been working with a lot of nutritionists, and they have played a lot of cricket around the world, so they have a very good knowledge about what works for them, right? I mean, and if a player knows what really works for him, okay, what really works for his body, then my job is really easy. So Ishant Bhaiya just had one problem, that his recovery is usually delayed because of few reasons. He's a vegetarian, first of all, so we always try to make a diet according to adding more and more veg options to his diet, and recovery was a problem with him. So we focused on adding few supplements to his diet, making sure that because he is a vegetarian, he should not miss on the protein side. There is a big misconception that a lot of people think being a vegetarian you cannot complete your protein, okay, or maybe being a vegetarian you don't have that much explosiveness when compared to a non-vegetarian. It's a really big myth, and if you are completing your protein intake in both the situations, then you are, I mean, it's equivalent, right? So we tried to increase the protein intake of Ishant Bhai because he was not getting a lot of protein from different sources. He was just focusing on the whey protein, and he was just taking protein from the supplements. We tried to introduce more foods. There were few allergies, or I can say not allergies, but he is reluctant to having a lot of dairy. Okay, he doesn't like having a lot of dairy. So we tried to reduce the dairy part from his diet, tried to introduce other food items. I mean, maybe some lentils, or we made good besan chillas. I'm really fond of besan chillas and all those stuff, and taking it from tofu and all those stuff. We tried to have decent amount of protein intake, and the biggest part which we have changed in his diet is the timings. So earlier he was not, he knew that okay, this much amount of calories I need to eat in a day, this much amount of protein I need to eat, but the timings were not fixed. So Dishabhai, if you take one meal in the morning and you have a very long gap and you're taking one meal at night, okay, being an athlete is going to impact you. You need to have more meals so that you are energized for the whole day, and your recovery is, recovery is not something which just happens overnight or something. It keeps on happening for the whole day. So you need to have food in specific timings or specific duration so that your body is getting the nutrition and the recovery is happening on the efficient level. So we try to have specific timings with the food. Okay, at 9 a.m. he's going to eat this, at 12 he's going to eat this, at 3 he's going to eat this, at 9 or 6, whatever it is. So we made 4 to 5 meals in a day, every meal having decent amount of protein which is required, every meal having decent amount of carbohydrate which is required, so that the energy is not dipping. Okay, and we really tried hard to give him different diets. So see, athletes, there are two type of athletes. One is Virat Kohli level. Virat Kohli is on that level. He don't care about the food. Whatever you're going to give him, he's going to eat. Okay. Second is athletes need varieties. Okay. They are also human, and food is something which is really important for everyone. It gives you happiness. Being an athlete, you need to have cheat meals specifically time to time, so that you have that sense of fulfillment that okay, I am not on a diet or something, and you keep on following a good diet for a longer period. So with Ishant Bhai also, we tried a lot and added a lot of varieties in his diet. Maybe a paratha, it can be a aloo paratha for some instance, giving him idli sambar or something, okay, and giving him rice, pulao and all those stuff. So we added a lot of varieties which really worked for him, okay, and he was really happy that okay, I'm eating homely cooked food, Indian meals, and I'm getting that kind of result which people get from maybe eating some English vegetables and all those stuff, okay. So that was the main gap that we filled, okay. And yeah, that's what I mean. A lot of athletes or a lot of individuals feel like have a misconception about the food, like, they need to eat avocados, lettuce, broccoli, and then only they're going to perform on the field. But in reality, you need to make sure whatever you have been eating from your childhood, you're eating that only, okay? Because that is your comfort food. You just need to have this correct timing and correct amount that needs to be, manipulated, or it needs to be created in a efficient way, and it is going to work, and it is going to give you wonderful results.
So, speaking about, our diet and everything. So, there's a myth that our Indian food does not have, one Indian thali does not have a lot of protein content, of course, which is very important for our body and for our functioning. So, I mean, what's your take on it? Are we really lacking on the nutritional value? And if so, then how can we, complete our meal so that in a proper Indian dal chawal kind of a setup, we complete our protein intake?
Okay, so this is true that any Indian vegetarian thali is somewhat lacking in protein, and I was just calculating, if I am eating just homely Indian cooked food without adding any supplementations, without adding paneer, because paneer in India is still a luxury, to be very honest, okay? Not everyone is going to keep on having paneer regularly. This is what I felt when I was working with players which comes from village, which comes from small towns. Even if I told him to eat paneer on a regular basis, it was like, bhaiya, it's too expensive for us taking it regularly. So I am considering paneer is still a luxury for a lot of people. I mean, no offense and nothing against them or something, but Indian diet, if you are having just dal, rice, roti, vegetable, barely you're going to take 30 grams of protein from the diet in the whole day. And that 30 grams is also not complete protein, okay? So, what we need to do is, first of all, we need to make sure that we are including protein in cheaper forms, okay? So that it is affordable also, first thing. Secondly, we need to make sure that we are controlling the portions of carbohydrate. See, carbohydrates are not bad, but everyone requires a certain amount of calories. Let's say that Jashu bhai needs 2000 calories in a day, okay, to perform whatever activities he is doing currently, okay. Now this 2000 calories, if I am exceeding this 2000 calories, I am going to gain. It can be muscle, it can be fat, depending upon how you are working out or not. If you are eating less than this 2000 calories, you are going to reduce. It can be muscles and fat, again depending upon what you are eating. So what I am trying to say is, in this 2000 calories, now if I am adding a lot of carbohydrate, okay, the calories for the protein part is going to be very less. So what we need to do is, we need to do the reverse thing. First of all, let's set the protein intake for the day. Let's say that I am 80 kg guy and I need to have 1 gram per kg of protein regularly. So my protein intake is going to be 80 grams per day, okay. Now this 80 grams I can take from curd, I can take from milk, sattu, a decent option, not a complete protein source, but a decent option. It can be from lentils, dal rice and soya chunks. Now soya chunks, why I am like emphasizing on soya chunks, it's a beautiful source of protein, okay. It's a really good source of protein for vegetarians, but a lot of Indians, a lot of males think that if they are going to have soya chunks, then they will develop certain kind of problems, gynecomastia, or a lot of other diseases, which is a very big myth, okay. Any Indian who is taking somewhere around 250-300 grams of soya chunks also is going to be not affected in any adverse manner, okay. It's completely fine for him. So what my suggestion for Indian is, try to include soya chunks as a source of protein if you are a vegetarian. If you are a non-vegetarian, then you don't need to put your mind into the protein thing, because you are anyways completing it. Because if you are taking 200 grams of chicken, maybe in lunch or dinner, you already add 50 grams of protein, okay, and you are sorted for the day. I mean, some protein will come from milk and all those stuff. But if you are a vegetarian and you really want to complete your protein source, please make sure that you are including soy chunks in your diet, and it's really healthy. It's not going to impact you in any negative way, okay. I mean, you can be a man or a woman who is consuming it and you will be fine. There will be no adverse effect at all. So yeah, I mean, Indian diet is deficient in protein, but very small changes can be made and you can have a really good Indian diet. I mean, just add some soya chunks in any form, just add some curd and milk in any form, paneer occasionally you can add, and dal rice. This will give you a good decent amount of 50, 60, 80 grams of protein, and this is fine for an individual who is working or going for a walk or something. Yeah.
So speaking about Indian diet and fat loss process has been spoken about a lot in our country, right? Health and fitness has become a huge topic in our country lately. So there are many people who go into this caloric deficit kind of a diet, right? And many people used intermittent fasting. Now everybody wants rapid results, everybody wants that visible six pack. So the easiest way they are told that they can get there is intermittent fasting process, right? And a caloric deficit diet. If you can just quickly touch upon the both of them, that what is exactly, how should we do a caloric deficit diet properly, and what's the myth around intermittent fasting? Is it safe? How many times a week can we do it if we are on a fat loss process, not a muscle loss process?
Okay, see, it's a really important question for today's India, because it's really booming. Everywhere you're going to see calorie deficit, and you make a diet which is less in calorie. Any diet which is giving you reduction in fat, reduction in weight is a calorie deficit diet. Intermittent fasting is also a way of creating a calorie deficit diet. Okay, any diet that you're eating, a lot of Indians, what they do is, okay, my marriage is in 1 month, I need quick results, I'm going to have a lot of juices, I'm going to have a lot of salad, no rice, no roti, nothing, I'm just going to survive on juices and salad, and they reduce a lot of weight, right? This is also a calorie deficit. Okay, if you are losing, you are in a deficit. What deficit means is, as we were talking about you earlier, like for you, for example, whatever activity you're doing in a day, okay, even right now we are talking, this also requires some kind of energy. Okay, you're thinking, you're tapping your feet, my hand gestures and all requires certain amount of calories. Okay, now when I sum up this all calories, let's say that I am burning 2000 calories in a day. Okay, while sleeping also I am thinking about something, or my organs are functioning. If I want to be alive, I need a lot of energy, and energy are denoted as calories. Okay, now let's say that I require 2000 calories for performing all these activities. Okay, what I was telling about. Now from food, if I take less than this 2000 calories, I am going to be in a deficit. For example, I make a diet in which I am consuming 1600 calories. Okay, now I am burning 2000, I am eating 1600. This 400 calories gap will come from your fat stores. Your body will take fat as a source of energy and burn it. Okay, and this is how you're going to lose fat, and this is how you're going to lose weight. Okay, this is calorie deficit. Now let's come to intermittent fasting. What intermittent fasting says, you need to fast for 6 hours, you need to have your food in 6 hours or 8 hours window, and you need to fast for 16 or 18 hours window, whatever it is. Usually it is 8 is to 16, I mean 8 hours of feeding window and 16 hours of fasting window. Now if you think about it, what you are doing is, if you are following an intermittent fasting, you are giving signals to your body that you need to eat less. Okay, for example, I started at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and my last meal is going to be, let's say, at 8 p.m. okay, or 10 p.m. whatever it is. Now I have a certain window of 8 hours. Okay, and even if I want to eat a lot, I won't be able to eat, because I have told my body, okay, I'm going to eat in this 8 hours of window only. Okay, now I won't be able to complete 2000 calories which I really want for doing all the activities, and indirectly I start consuming less, because maybe I'm skipping my breakfast, I'm starting with my lunch. So let's say that I'm eating maybe a 800 or a 900 calorie lunch, then snack of 200, 300 calories, and another one dinner of same calories, and I come up to somewhere around 1600 calories. Okay, so indirectly what you are doing is, you're making yourself in a deficit. I mean, you're putting yourself in a deficit. Okay, so intermittent fasting, any fat diet, I mean any keto diet, it's very in, right? Any juice diet or this paleo diet and all those stuff, all these comes down to deficit. If you are able to make deficit, you will be able to lose. Now, intermittent fasting, you can do it regularly, but there is no added benefits when it comes to fat loss. So for example, if you are eating 1600 calories throughout the day, from 8 a.m. in the morning till 8 p.m. at night, okay? And if you are eating this 1600 calories in a window of 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., which is an intermittent window, both the calories are same, result is going to be the same, okay? There will be absolutely no change in the results, okay? Intermittent fasting helps you to restrict yourself and keep you in a deficit. That's the only point of intermittent fasting, okay? Now, what I am proposing right now is, I am not in a favor of intermittent fasting, I am not in a favor of a keto diet. I am in a favor of making diet according to your lifestyle, according to your culture, according to your food habits. I will tell, I will give the reason why. If I talk about intermittent fasting, if I say that I need to eat this in 8 hours window, will I be able to eat it for the whole life? I don't think so, right? Once I stop doing it, I will get back to my normal routine and I will start gaining the weight back, because I have not developed any habit. It was just a small phase, okay? When I talk about keto diet means no carbs, okay? Will I be able to eat 0 carbs for the whole life? No, right? Again, once I introduce the carbs, the weight is going to go up again, okay? So all these intermittent fasting, keto diet and all those stuff are just for short term results. It's not going to give you longer results, okay? And if you are receiving short term results, you are going to gain the weight back more rapidly, okay? The speed of losing, for example, if you lost 10 kgs in one month, which is a very huge number for me, okay? If you are losing 10 kgs in 1 month, I'm sure that you're going to gain it back very rapidly again, okay? And you will be back to 0. Now, I will ask you a few questions, you just answer them and I will be able to give you a good diet, okay? Just roughly, okay? This is how I do my work. This is no specific name diet. There is nothing. I mean, it's a calorie deficit diet made by Suraj Thakuria. Okay. So just tell me about your routine throughout the day. What all meals you eat in a day? From breakfast, lunch, snacks, dinner. What all meals you eat?
So basically, after I finish my workout, I have few eggs and a bit of overnight soaked oats. And then I have a green tea somewhere in between around 12:30. Then by 2:30 I have my lunch, that is basically dal chawal in a small portion. By evening again, if I get time, I have a black coffee or a green tea something. My last meal comes at 7:30. I preferably eat either fruits or a small salad or some kind of boiled eggs or roasted chicken kind of thing. So that's my diet. On a normal day.
Normal day, right?
Yeah.
And what's your goal? If I talk about your goal, what you want to achieve in the upcoming 3 months?
I mean, of course, it will be a better shredded physique. I would like to lose out on fat. So primarily, that's my goal.
That's a goal, right?
Yeah.
Now, looking at your physique, what I feel, because obviously I need to ask a lot of questions and I cannot do it in middle of the interview. What I feel is, if you eat somewhere around 1800 calories, you will be in a deficit, okay? Right now, what you are doing is you're not tracking the calories, right? You're eating decent amount of food. I'm not sure whether you will be able to cut down the rice for your whole life in the dinner or not. I mean, I think you're just having chicken, right? From which part of the country you come?
I come from Jharkhand.
Right?
Yeah.
Jharkhand, right? Is it a heavy rice based city? I mean, state, right? And right now you're missing on rice?
Yeah.
Okay. Why you're doing it?
Yeah. Just to maintain, cut down. Yeah. Exactly.
Now, will you be able to do it for your whole life?
So that's possible. Yeah.
Right. But that's what. If now I tell you, okay, Jishu bhai, we are going to have rice in your lunch. We will going to have rice in your dinner. Okay. We will have oats in your breakfast. 3 meals, 3 carbs. Okay. We will have eggs which you are taking in your breakfast. Some paneer or soya chunks in lunch and chicken in dinner. And with all these framework, we are going to maintain 1800 calories. Now this looks good to you? Yeah. I mean, you will be able to follow it in a long sustainable, right? Yeah. Right. So this is how we make a diet. First, you need to understand, when it comes to a player, when it comes to a normal population who is coming to me for a fat lossing or something, you need to understand from what background he is coming. Is he a South Indian? If yes, then sambar rice is going to be a staple food for him. And if I stop him from doing that, from eating sambar rice, he might not follow the diet after a month. Okay. Now similarly, if someone is coming from the north, roti is a big thing for them, right? Chicken is a big thing for them, Punjab side or udhar. If I tell him, okay, you cannot eat a roti, he won't be able to follow it for a longer period. Okay. And because we have that misconception in our mind that okay, carbs are bad, roti is bad, rice is bad, don't eat rice, don't eat roti, don't eat dinner after 7. All these things keeps on coming up over the Instagram in podcasts like this or something. So, you know, all these things make us believe that I really need to stop eating rice and roti, which is not the case. You can have whatever you want to have in a diet. Remember I told you with Ishant Bhaiya, we are having aloo paratha. Yeah. Now you tell me any athlete, you know, would run if I say I am going to give you aloo paratha, right? Because our mind functions that way that, you know, if I'm eating aloo paratha, I'm going to get fat, okay? Aloo has been demonized in such a way that aloo is going to make me fat. That is a basic thing. So what I am proposing is, whatever diet you're making, don't stop a specific food item. You can have each and everything. Just make sure you know your calories, okay? Make protein your priority. Try to complete your protein intake, and the rest calories can come from the carbohydrate and fats, okay? You have rice and lunch, you have rice and dinner. After the interview, I will definitely give you a diet which have all these things, and try it, okay? Try it for a month. You will get two things. First, you will be able to maintain it for a longer period. You won't feel like you're dieting, okay? And secondly, you will lose at a really good speed and your energy levels will be high, okay? So yeah, this is how, I mean, you need to make sure that whatever diet you're making, it is up to the mark according to your background, according to your culture, according to your eating habits. And if you're making it accordingly, then you don't need to have any intermittent diet, any keto diet, nothing. Okay, you can have a good Indian food diet with delicious recipes, okay, and you can still lose or still achieve your goal, whatever you want. In some cases, when you are lactose intolerant or you have some gluten problem, in such cases you need to restrict wheat or maybe the milk part, dairy part. But for majority of Indians, you don't need to stop all these things, and don't go into a specific diet like I need to follow a keto or I need to do a intermittent fasting, I need to have avocados, broccoli. I mean you just don't go behind it. Follow a diet, make a calorie first, make a calorie which is less than what you're burning if you want to lose fat. Then, you know, protein, set your protein intake and have good amount of carbs. It will give you energy also, and you will keep on losing and in a sustainable manner.
That's a great insight in my opinion. So speaking about fast and intermittent fasting and everything, now there are few kinds of fasting that say 7-day water fast, 21-day water fast. Right. I mean, I've been noticing that these things are pretty in, people have been speaking about it. So I mean, can you just give us a brief insight? I mean, what are they? Are they safe to do? I mean, of course they are not sustainable, right? The name only suggests 7-day water fast, 21-day water fast. So I mean, why is it becoming such a big deal, and is it safe? Why do people, of course they do it for a fat loss purpose. So I mean what's your take on this?
See, first of all, as I've told you, you don't need to do all these fast, okay? First thing. Secondly, if you're doing 7 days water fast, you will lose, but you will lose a lot of muscle as well. You are not giving enough protein, okay? And for anyone who is not providing enough protein to the muscles, you will lose muscles for sure. Muscle for your body, how can I put it? I mean, it's a tedious work for the body. The body doesn't want to put a lot of muscles, okay? Isliye it's really hard to put a lot of muscles. It's really hard to be a Arnold, okay, with a huge muscle mass and all those stuff, because the priority of body is not to put muscles, right? But if you're having a good protein intake, if you're doing the workouts, you will able to sustain a decent amount of muscles. Now, if you're doing a 7 days fast, first you will lose weight for sure. But you will not just lose from fat, you will lose a lot of water weight, you will lose a lot of muscle weight also, okay? And once you are done with this 7 days of fasting, the rebound is going to be like, you know, you're going to gain all the weight back, okay? And in our community, it is called yo-yo dieting also. A diet which is a crash diet, a water diet, or maybe a fruit based diet or a vegetable based diet. Your weight is going to go down like a yo-yo, and it's going to come back again like a yo-yo, okay, once you stop doing it. So never go with any kind of fasting. I'm really against fasting for fat loss. Yes, if you have some religious reason, that's completely fine, okay. If you want to fast for Navratri and all those, it's fine, it's completely fine. But if you just want to fast to lose fat, it is not going to give the results that you want. And what really happens is, once you keep on doing this, over the period, your skin gets loose. Okay, I mean you might have seen a lot of people who have lost, he might be around 150 kgs and came to 100 kgs but have a loose skin because they have lost this weight at a rapid speed without focusing on maintaining the muscle mass. That is why their skin elasticity has been completely haywired or something. Okay, so your aim is to lose fat, okay, and your aim is to maintain that number for the whole life. Okay, your aim is not, okay, I need to lose 10 kgs right now and it's okay if I gain it back 10 kgs after a month. That is not your goal. You need to lose 10 kgs and you need to keep it off for the whole life, right? If that is the goal, then again you need to make a diet which suits your routine, which suits your culture. I mean, for example, you work with our republic, right? Now, if I tell you, okay, you need to make 4 meals per day, heavy meals, 4 meals per day, I think you won't be able to make it because of time. Okay, you don't have a lot of time. So you need to figure out that, okay, I have a shift of 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. or whatever it is, and I have less time. How can I make meals which is easier to cook and easy to carry and easy to eat? Okay, if you are able to frame the things together, all these 3 things together, you will be able to lose even if you are in a hectic job or something. Okay, then you don't need to fast. And a lot of people think fasting is some kind of detox for the body. Okay, it cleans you up from inside. Nothing like that. Okay, it's never going to clean you up. It is only going to make things worse for you. Secondly, you don't need to clean you, like you don't need your body to clean up. Okay, liver, kidney have their own functions of filtration. Kidney, we all know that it's done, like it filters out all the the waste and all those stuff. So it is your kidney is efficient in doing all the cleansing thing and detoxification. Okay, you don't need to do a specific diet to detoxify your body. Okay, so stop doing all these fat diets. It is not going to give you the results that you really want in a longer run. You might get small results, I mean short-term results, which might be fascinating right now, but after a while you will be in a big trouble because you're going to gain the weight back also, and you will feel like, okay, you have just wasted your time, your money and your resources. So yeah, never do the fasting thing.
So it's said that the breakfast should be your best meal and also in many ways should be your biggest meal of the day. Now a common trend in our country is that many people have cereal and juices for breakfast. By juices I mean what they get in the market, the packaged juices. Yeah, right. So 2 questions. I mean, are they healthy, the cereals and the packed juices? If not, I mean, what are the best options by which we can replace them, which keeps you full, which has positive effects for your body?
See, first of all, breakfast might be really important for me because it gives me energy for the whole day, but it might be opposite for you. Okay, a lot of people feel energetic when they don't do the breakfast, and that's completely fine. Okay, so doing heavy breakfast depends from person to person and how he has grown up. Okay, in like when I was growing up, because I was playing cricket all my time and all those stuff, so my mother made sure that I had a big breakfast. So that is why it is in my, what can I say, in my culture or something, that I need to have a big breakfast. That is how my day starts. But for someone who is working in a morning shift, might not be the case. Okay, he might not have a heavy breakfast something. So first of all, let's not divide it into 2 parts, or let's not just make it a common thing that, okay, it's really important to have heavy breakfast in the morning. It depends from person to person, situation to situation. Secondly, coming to the juices first. See, whenever you are comparing any juice, if it is canned juice, if it is normal juice, having a fruit is always a better option. I'm not saying you cannot have juice. Again, some days you have it just for the sake of having it, just for if you like having it, it's completely fine. But if you ask me what is better for you, a juice or a fruit, definitely a fruit. Okay, because fiber content will be more. Okay, the insulin level will be a bit less when compared to a juice or something. Secondly, when I come to the cereals, few cereals are really good. If I talk about oats, good, very good. But if I talk about the packed mueslis and all, it contains not just the sugar, but a lot of how can I say, components which is not good for your health. Okay, a lot of all the, what can I say, the chemicals which are preservatives and all those stuff, which is not good for you in the longer run. So we can, I'm not in a favor of restricting them altogether. I always believe in a balance. Okay, you have 7 days in a week. Okay, you can have 3 to 4 days good Indian breakfast, and the remaining 2-3 days cereals or muesli, whatever you want. Okay, this is how you are going to balance it out. Completely depending upon mueslis, completely depending upon oats is also not right. Completely depending upon Indian food might not also be right for us, because you might get the sense of monotonous. Okay, I'm getting I'm eating the same food again, and you might get off track, right? So if you find a balance between both the things, few days you can have it, few days you just go with your Indian meals. Now when it comes to Indian meals, the best thing which I feel, which really works for me, is besan chilla. This is something which I keep on giving to all my clients, because I feel it's a besan chilla or a moong dal chilla. It gives you protein, it gives you decent amount of carbs, and it's delicious. Okay, idli sambar is very good option for breakfast. Okay, poha decent option, upma good option, oats good option. So this is how you can frame up your breakfast for the day. And whatever I am telling you, all these are carbohydrate sources. Make sure, which I am emphasizing in every conversation of mine, make sure you are adding some kind of protein in your diet. It can be eggs, it can be adding paneer to your besan chilla, it can be having a scoop of whey protein, that's also fine. It can be adding soy chunks to your diet, it can be having chicken salami, chicken sausages in your diets. Okay, so this is how you're going to make a complete breakfast.
So we have seen that there's a growing trend of heart attacks in our country, and it's not age specific. We are seeing younger people pass away right now. It might be due to stress, it might be due to anything, right? So as a nutritionist, as someone who works closely in the fitness industry, you work with top athletes, you know the human anatomy better than me or any of us, right? So what's the main reason that this has been happening so frequently? And on the nutritional aspect, what can we do across, irrespective of the age group, what can we do to curb down the possibilities of a heart attack? I mean, what's the hack to it?
See, first of all, there's no hack. Okay, you need to focus on your fitness if you really want to get rid of all these things. Okay, and again, fitness is not going to give you 100% assurity that you're not going to have an heart attack. Okay, for example, Sushmita Sen, very fit. Okay, I mean, we have been hearing about her fitness from my childhood. I've been thinking about and listening to all his nutrition tips and all those stuff. Still, she survived a heart attack, right? So first of all, let's clear out this area that okay, having a good diet, having a good routine is not going to give you 100% assurity that you're not going to get attacks. Okay, but having a good diet, having a good routine will 100% give you an edge once you get the heart attack. Once you're under that stress, it will give you an edge and it will help you survive. Okay, because your body is in a better state when compared to a person who is very fat or obese. Okay, now coming to how we can prevent it. Okay, first of all, what I feel in today's world is sedentary lifestyle. It's not just the food, it is the activity level which is going down. Okay, we have everything on our fingertips. If I want to order something, I'm not going to the market and buying it. I'm using Blinkit, I'm using other apps. Okay, activity levels have gone drastically down. We feel if I'm walking for 15 minutes, I feel I've done a lot of workout for the day. Okay, a lot of people do that. Okay, but that is not enough. Okay, you need to have good 45 minutes of workout, or maybe 45 to 60 minutes of good walking, so that you achieve a moderate level of activity throughout the day. First thing, you need to focus on your activity levels. If you are not focusing on activity level, even if you are having the best diet of the world, you are not going to, it is not going to give you a surety about the heart attacks, because zero activity means more stress, indirectly more stress to the body, and our body is meant to move. It has been built to move from our ancestors. I mean, this is how we have evolved. Okay, I mean, living in jungles and roaming all around and all this stuff. So your body is meant to move. If you are restricting your body activities, it is going to give you adverse effects in terms of cardiovascular health, in terms of your mental health also. Secondly, when it comes to diet, as I've told you, all these apps are a big reason, which is what I feel. Okay, if you check my phone, you are not going to get Swiggy, Zomato. Okay, because first of all, I really don't want to eat. I don't have that craving of eating those kind of foods on a very consistent manner. First thing. Secondly, if you have that app, okay, I'm not talking about any specific app. If you have any app, even if you're getting bored, you're going to order something. Okay, and now a lot of people are in a confusion whether they are bored, whether they are under stress, or they are really hungry. Okay, and in such a situation, they keep on ordering a lot of food items which are obviously not made in a very good way. Okay, fried food, it can be highly palatable sugary foods and all those stuff. So if you are I'm not, again, all these conversation is all about balancing, about how you can balance your social life and how you can balance your fitness life together. If you are totally into fitness and not focusing on the social life, I mean if you are boycotting your social life, that doesn't make sense to me. And even if you are totally into your social life and not focusing on your fitness life, again you are going into a problematic situation. So to balance it out, you need to make sure whatever you are ordering, whatever food you are eating out, you are controlling the portion. Okay, again, I'm not stopping you from eating that pizza or from eating that burger or something, but there should be certain limit to it. Okay, if you are eating it on a regular basis, definitely you are going to get into a bad health. Okay, but if you are eating it in a controlled way, maybe once in a month, and doing activity regularly, it's not going to impact you. Okay, because that calorie or that food is so small when compared to the whole month meal, it's negligible. But the problem arises when you keep on having the same food and keep on eating the same food again day and night, ordering the same food day and night. So yeah, we need to stop eating these highly palatable foods. Palatable means food which makes you crave more. Okay, chips, maybe samosa can be one of those things, and sugary foods, or we need to stop eating or control it. And secondly, we need to make sure we are moving more, walking 45 minutes or maybe a workout for 45 minutes. If you are following these two things, you will be in a very good safe zone. Secondly, like one more thing which I really want to add, before going to workouts, please make sure you are checking your heart health, you're checking you're taking out your blood reports. Okay, you might have heard a lot of people are getting heart attacks in the gym. Raju Srivastava sir got heart attack in the gym and passed away and all this stuff, because you really don't know your fitness level right now, and you're going to the gym with an approach of all or nothing. We Indians have a very weird thing. If I'm going to the gym, I'm going to do a kick-ass workout. Okay, there is no space in between. Either I'm not going to go to a gym, or if I'm going to a gym, then it is going to be a kick-ass workout. Nothing in between, right? And in such a situation, your body is not ready for it, and you have no awareness about what your heart health is, and you're doing a very tedious workout, very heavy workout in the gym. Your heart is going to come under stress, and you might get an heart attack or something, or some other diseases. So if you are a newbie, if you are someone who is just going to the gym for the first time, or even if you are someone who is going to the gym after a very long period, please get your blood reports done, see your levels, and accordingly perform the activity. Accordingly you make the intensity of the workout. So any client which works with me, maybe a fat loss client, maybe a muscle building client, any client who works with me, we get his blood reports done, okay, to see what all deficiencies he or she is having. Secondly, what is right now the heart health. Okay, I might look fit, I might look someone who has a 6 packs and all those, but my heart health might be totally mess or something. It can happen, okay, because a lot of people take a lot of substance or something to make bodies, and all these things keeps on happening. So before going to the gym, you need to make sure you are doing the reports, and if something is coming up, please make sure you are taking guidance of some nutritionist or a trainer which is guiding you about the intensity of the workout, and accordingly you're doing it. If all these things are taken care of, taking your blood reports time to time, doing walking or workout of 45 to 1 hour, and making sure that you're eating less outside food and just sticking to normal Indian food, you will be sorted. You won't get, you know, a lot of diseases and all.
So supposedly there's someone in a corporate setup, you know, who works for say 12 hours in a day. They do not have, they are willing to work out, but they do not find the time to work out. But they are very committed to their fitness goals. They want to lose weight or whatever. So is there a way, is there any hack that, you know, even if you don't work out, through your diet, you're committed to eating clean and everything. Is there a way that by eating clean, you can lose your body fat, or your, you know, your water weight comes down even if you're not working out? I mean, is there a way to it?
100%. 100%. If you are focusing just on the diet, it will definitely make you a better person in terms of body composition. Your body fat is going to go down. See, doing workout is a total different thing than doing, you know, doing a workout is a totally different thing when it comes to the fat lossing. I mean, we do the workout for building up muscles and to maintain the strength or building up the strength. I never give a workout to my client with the focus of losing fat. I have other ways of doing it. Yes, you're going to burn a lot of calories while doing the workout, but I can burn a lot of calories in different ways also. It's not just the workout which is burning me all the calories. It can be going for a walk, again for 45 minutes, 1 hour, doing a 10,000 steps or something, okay, playing a sport, playing badminton or, you know, pickleball or anything, whatever you want to play, tennis or swimming. There are a lot of activities which can be done apart from going to the gym for burning calories, okay. And if you are just doing a diet also, initially you will see the results, okay. You will start losing the weight, you will start losing the water weight, you will start losing the fat. But after a while, if you really want to maintain the muscle mass, you need to involve in some kind of activity. It can be a sport, okay. I need to provide stimulus to my muscles, okay. It can be done through a sport, it can be done through a workout in the gym, it can be done by any other activity, but you need to work upon your muscles over the period. So what I would suggest, if you don't have time for the workouts, start with the diet. Once you start seeing the results, once you start seeing that I have lost 10% of my total body weight, I was at 100, now I am at 90, you will get motivated. And once you are motivated now, you will start doing the workouts, you will find time. I mean, you might sleep for 1 hour less, but you will find time for it, okay. And you know, it all comes down to what results you are getting. Once you see the results and once you see how your body is changing, how your energy levels are changing, then you always want to go on the higher side, always want to achieve better things, right. So you will definitely go towards the workouts or maybe playing some sports or something. So yeah, start just with the diet if you don't have time. Start making a good diet of like less calories, what we were talking about earlier, and once you get the results, maybe in a month or two, then you can focus on the workout part.
So my last question to you would be, I mean, it's a huge confusion. I guess our viewers would also like to know this. So how do I count the amount of calories that I have on my plate, irrespective of the food that I'm eating? Right now, we spoke about calorie deficit, we spoke about everything. Now, now I'm seeing that there are various apps in the market which just scans your food and gives you this much, but I'm sure they are not very accurate. Right, you cannot just have a pictorial reference to see, let an app do your counting. So for example, how do you count that, okay, these are the amount of calories that I have on my plate, and how can the viewers do it?
If you really want to lose fat, okay, let's talk about losing fat first and how you can count the calories, okay. If you are really focused for losing fat, first you can start measuring your food, start measuring your raw food. For example, let's say that I am making a diet of 2000 calories and I want carbohydrate somewhere around 200 grams per day. Let's take an example, okay. I am taking 50 grams of fries in lunch. This 50 grams of raw rice, you put it in the app, you will come to know how much amount of carbohydrate is giving you, okay. This is how you measure it raw. This is the first way of measuring the food. You measure it raw and then cook it and then, you know, eat it in whatever form you want to eat. That is the first thing. Secondly, if you are someone who cannot measure the food, who cannot have who doesn't have the time to measure each and every single food item, then just try to cut down your food in a different manner. So for example, don't think of eating 1800 calories or 2000 calorie, just think of reducing your calorie intake. If you were eating 3 rotis earlier, try to get it at 2. Okay. First of all, if you want to really lose fat, first thing that you need to do is remove every fried food item from your food, remove every snackable item from your food. Snackable means chips, maybe some Cadbury chocolates and all those stuff. Okay. This is the first step. Once you stop eating this food on a regular basis, you will automatically start losing. First step. Secondly, after removing all these junk food, start removing your food in a very marginal manner. If you were having 3 rotis earlier, try to get it down to 2.5. Okay, 2.5 in the morning, 2.5 in the evening. If you are taking 3 breads in the morning, try to cut it down to 2. Okay, slowly and gradually start cutting down small portions from every meal. Don't cut from specific one meal, because if you are cutting down from one meal, you will feel hungry, and once you feel hungry, you will start binging on the food item. So better to cut down from every meal, breakfast, lunch, snacks and dinner in small portions, and once you are done with it, you will start seeing the results. Okay, this is how you can control your calories. And if you really want to understand how my plate, like how much calories is there in my plate, then you need to practice it. So for example, if there is one roti, one bowl of dal and there is one vegetable or something, what I am going to do is I will see how much calorie in one bowl of dal would be, somewhere around 150 or 200 calories according to my calculation, okay, depending upon the size of the bowl, right. Similarly with the roti, similarly with the vegetable, I will just merge sum up all the calories and will come up to a number. But this is something which is really difficult and you cannot be accurate in this. You can just give take a rough estimate about what you are eating, amount of calories that you are eating, but you cannot be accurate. If you really want to get accurate numbers, start tracking the raw food. Okay, that is how you are going to get to a number. Okay, this is the amount of calories which I am, and this is what we do with all the clients. Okay, we start tracking the raw food, and when the raw food is not feasible for the client, when measuring the raw food is not feasible for the client, then we come to the portion control. With a lot of athletes, because they are traveling, they keep on traveling, we always, what we do with the athletes is we take wherever they are traveling, we take the chef number of that hotel and we place order for them. Okay, that is how we work. When we place the order, we give quantities in raw only, because every 5-star hotel or every good hotel will have that measuring thing with themselves, which they can measure food and prepare. But if you are someone, an office goer or something, or maybe someone who's playing at a lower level, divisional level or something, please make sure you're cutting down small things from your diet. This is how you can lose fat. Okay, and why I am telling, talking a lot about fat loss is because that is the #1 problem in our country or maybe around the world. Okay, muscle building or building weight gain is something not that significant right now. I mean, it's easier for someone to gain weight, but it's really difficult for someone to lose fat. So yeah, if you are on a fat loss diet, please make sure you are cutting down the food item, and this is how you are going to lose.
Okay. So thank you, Suraj. That was a very insightful conversation. I'm sure the viewers will have a lot to gain from this, and we touched upon a lot of things. I mean, a lot of myths were busted in this conversation. So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me here. It was really great experience. I mean, it was a really good setup, and everyone is very friendly, and how you're a very good host, and how you gave that comfort, it's really amazing. Thank you so much for having me, and I hope my experience or whatever I am doing is going to help a lot of other individuals in making their diets, and they will again focus on why they should not do any XYZ diet, any intermittent fasting or something, and focus on a diet which is sustainable for them. Yeah, thank you.